I realized I do get nervous because at Frosties this year, when I played Punk and Grand Finals, and that was went down to the wire.
Mhm.
I remember there was a time where I asked what the score was because I forgot what the score was in the reset. So I went to look at the crowd, like I took out my headset, I went to the crowd and I was like, "Yo, 2-1, like this,"
Mhm.
and I just yeah, and then afterwards, my friends were telling me when I got off stage, like, "Yo, you were nervous, ain't you?" Like, I was like, "No, I don't think so." I was like, "Yeah, your hands were shaking when you asked for the score." I was like, "Hey, really?" And if you look back at the video, my hands were shaking like crazy. Actually,
Right.
I understand now that I do get nervous, but I have ways to like completely forget about that and just focus at the match at hand. Like I talk to myself a lot, like a lot in my head. Um,
Mhm.
like I try to boost myself up, like my confidence, everything. Like if I'm down and out, like if I'm down 2-0, I'd be telling myself like, damn, I can't wait to reverse this 3-0 this guy. If back in the Marvel days when I'm down to my Hawkeyes, like bro, I have the best Hawkeye in the world. I'm chilling. Like I
Right.
tell myself stuff like that. But
Mhm.
also like I could acknowledge that the nerves are there, but also just not pay attention to them. So that's why I feel like I got over it and realized that I do have nerves because I was shaking when I was doing this. And after a match is over, I do still shake when I'm like closing up my backpack.
Oh
So
yeah.
when I'm not like beforehand and afterwards, like I'm shaking like crazy, but I don't feel me shaking when I have my control in my hand playing. So it's
Interesting.
okay. Yeah, it's okay to acknowledge it. Just acknowledge it and just get over it right then and there. Focus on other things like
Right.
the match.
Well,
Yeah.
would you argue that it's nerves or adrenaline? And is there a difference between the two, right? Because I
Mm,
feel like sometimes I think the source of it is adrenaline, and I think how you manage it is whether it manifests as nerves or not. Because I like that you mentioned that you acknowledge it and then get through it. Because I think to me, the worst way to approach it is to try to act like you're not nervous or like you're not
yeah.
having an adrenaline
Agree.
inducing moment. I think when you're
Agree.
fighting your natural state in that moment, that conflict internally manifests itself in you falling apart and not being able to manage it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because I think if you not acknowledging it is acknowledging enough, or no, my bad. You not acknowledging it and denying it is like you putting too much focus onto that.
yeah.
You're denying it so much
You're
that you're
fighting two
like,
battles. You're fighting the
"Hmm?
game, and then you're fighting yourself internally at
Yeah,
the same time. Like sometimes you're
yeah,
just you have adrenaline boosting. You're nervous. And it's like that is what it is, right?
yeah, it's
And
okay.
yeah, a lot of people ask me, they're like, "Oh, how do you get better at tournament nerves?" And I'm like, you just keep going to tournaments and dealing with it, right? Like you're gonna
Yeah,
be nervous while you're playing. And the other
hmm
thing I always say is like, just make it so that when you're nervous, you're still better than your opponent when they're at their best. Like your nervous self is
yeah,
better than your opponent at their best, and
yep,
just believe that. Like
yep.
it is, you're
I
not
tell
gonna
myself
get
that
rid of
too.
it.
I tell myself that too. Like I'd be like, yo, like even when like some days I'd be playing sloppy. I'd be telling myself like that's how I gas myself up too. Actually, it's like yeah, even when I'm nervous, I feel like I should still beat you. Even if I'm messing up all my inputs, all
Right.
my 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 execution errors and everything, I feel like I should still beat you. Like my pad's messing up, I feel like I should still beat you. Like that's why I'd be telling
Mm,
myself that all the time. Actually, I have my own ways of pep talking myself, and like again, I
right.
talk to myself in my head all the time, and that's just some of the phrases that could be going through my head. Actually, yeah,
Interesting. Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot goes
You
into
you
it,
have to
bro.
believe.